Um, so one I was going to ask you earlier is about people. Most fascinating. You've worked with some, a lot of different people from different walks,
Mhm.
and super nerdy. I'm sure you've some people who shouldn't be let out in public, to to people who you only want to push out in public and nowhere else. Um, what's the most interesting person you're looking back now of the people you've met? That's kind of you look back and just like, yeah, that I didn't know it at the time, perhaps, or maybe you knew it at the time, but just kind of want somebody you look back on and go, glad this person crossed my path.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually probably a couple different people that meet that criteria for different reasons. One, I think, is more from a psychological, you could call it
Mm,
mental perspective, which
yeah,
is back to our conversation about uh, openness, like safe place for real talk.
yeah,
And to create a safe place for that, I think that's very interesting. And some people have the ability to make other
yes,
people feel comfortable without judgment,
yeah,
without advice, to just listen and understand. And so, and to actually support you. And I think that's a
wow,
very valuable thing in this world because it's very selfless, right? I think that's just the essence of what a good friendship or relationship
yeah,
or whatever will be between two humans. That's one. The second one, I think, is the creative process. And I don't just mean like the design, but creative process can be anything, as you know. I mean, it could be a guitar, it could be software
yeah,
engineering, it could be building a shelf or a boat or just coming up with something new and unique that excites you that hasn't been
mm,
created before, music, whatever it is, piece of writing, just an idea, connecting two dots, business partnership. I mean, you can see creativity everywhere. I mean, it's the essence of humanity, I think. It's like the opposable thumb, the brain, and then what happens as a result of that. So there's been a couple individuals in my life
mm,
who have really pushed the limit of that, and they've dedicated their life to it, where they will ingest things from all different genres, walks of life, people, religion, right? The whole thing. And what comes out of that is really, it's pointed in a specific genre, but seeing that done with purity is a remarkable thing to witness. And it's something that is also very attractive. So it's
yeah,
in both of those instances, it's the purity. And then in the third piece, I think it's the strength factor, which is, I've been through a lot and it hurts me, and I have the courage and the bravery in these situations to continue marching forward when life could have
yes,
pushed me down. I could not get out of bed anymore. But for some reason, I found the will inside of me to just go one more time, just keep going, right? Like just do it, right? That whole thing. And through like really nasty negative situations. And so I look at those things as like a triangle almost. And it's a constant reminder to me of like, if you can have that ability to open up safe, shared, supportive spaces, you can approach your life with this mindset of just
mm,
pure creation, which ultimately is like build things that help people. And I think there's value in that. And then the last piece, which is we live in the universe. It's neither good nor bad. Things happen. We interpret it one way or the other. And sometimes that stuff hurts. But what do you do? What's your response to that? Hey, I got a thumbs up here. Um, and then I don't know what's going on there, but
I don't know what this is the strangest thing. It's
I
something
love
you
that
probably
movie.
designed and gave away and turned into open source, and
Yeah.
someone has turned it into that.
Read the pixels, create more pixels. Yeah. So I think it's those three elements, and there's probably five people that fall into one of those
Mhm.
three buckets, like to an extreme level, where I'm like, when I
Yeah.
think of that thing, I think of him or her.
Yes. Yeah.
And if they're watching this, they probably know which bucket
Oh,
they
yeah.
fall into, maybe more than one, which is kind of cool. I know a few of those too. So yeah, it's something that's just kind of I've always looked up to and valued. because I think
Those are
it's a
yeah.
cool North Star.
Yeah, and those are good people to hold on to in your circle.
Mhm.
People that
Mhm.
can do that. It's a
How
it
about you?
Yeah, I mean, same feeling, right? Same thing. People that can I think these people that fascinate me are the ones that can reinvent themselves over and over again.
Mhm.
I've had a fascination with that.
Hmm.
And listening to some different writers, or different thinkers, talking about just humanity and stuff.